Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrolling throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit or arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you do have a live today with a collective message and a little bit of a chat. So definitely check that out. If you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. Let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, taking a step aside and allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Right off the bat, right inside the crystal ball, one of the things that I'm seeing right now is it seems like a person that's sitting on top of a mat. It's almost like this sort of meditation or silent pose, and there's something about tree roots. And so there's something about whoever this message is for. It seems to be for a collective of people who feel a little bit like they're having difficulty either tapping in or like they're in a timeout right now. We'll see what's going on. Okay. So I'm not to read the meanings of the cards, I'm to read the images. So yeah, someone here, it feels a little bit like that. It feels a little bit like a timeout, feeling like you're outside of your normal comfort zone, outside of your normal world. She's examining the world. It almost feels like a world that can't contain her any longer. So some of you, it really feels like there's this question about, am I even connected anymore? Or am I doing the thing I'm supposed to be doing? And the answer to that is yes, you are connected. It's just that what you've been doing isn't a space that can hold your energy anymore. That's very interesting. This is whatever it is that we have been doing here, it feels a little bit like our heart was very much wrapped into it, but it almost became monotonous in some way. The reason why I'm saying that is because this is a heart. I'm seeing it just like it says, heart home, right? This is a home. We see all these hearts that are dangling down from these vines, but there's this clock, right? And this clock really speaks to me of repetition, of doing the same thing, quite possibly the time running out on doing that same thing. It's like the time was up, right? It feels a little bit like for somebody here, we're trying to get something to go, or we're trying to get something to move, or we're trying to process information somehow the same way. We're trying to see the same way, but we're not the same. And so there's something here that's evolving and changing, and you're being asked to kind of allow it to evolve and change as you've changed. Maybe this is something creative for some of you. Maybe this is something in terms of music or art or writing. For some of you, I feel that this is even getting information, right? Information from spirit, or being able to read, or being able to process your psychic information. For some of you, this may even extend to areas of magic, just feeling like you're outside of the known world that you have known before, and kind of questioning that. You know, if you look at the expression on her face, she's not necessarily happy about this. She's kind of wondering like what's going on, right? She kind of has this inquisitive look on her face as she's looking at that. She's trying to see something. Interesting. Her eyes are pointed down, and what that's saying to me right now is that for some of you, you may have even been trying to do some sort of shadow work or self-work to try to figure out what's happening. Maybe there's a worry that there's some sort of belief that has cropped up, for example. But the message is actually very clear. The message is that it's just changing, it's evolving. And so the way that you're expecting this thing to manifest isn't the way that it's going to manifest in the future. There's also a deer walking right outside my window, so I don't know if that means something for somebody. Maybe that's a symbol for somebody. Ooh. I love these cards, but the finish is very hard to shuffle that way. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles. Oh, I'm sorry, the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Three of Wands, and we have the Page of Pentacles. And again, I'm going to flip between reading these traditionally and reading the images, because I almost feel like it's a twofold thing that's happening right here. What we have here with the Nine of Pentacles is, you know, this is our wish fulfillment, something that we've manifested. For some of you, you've been very focused on evolving and growing and becoming, right? Becoming the next stage of your journey, or the next phase of your journey, really growing into that. And while we've been doing that, it's almost being on high alert, right? There's something inside of our energy that is shifting, and that energy shift seems to be putting us on high alert for danger. That's what's happening here with these antelope. As they're grazing, they're looking up because something has moved, something has rustled. This seems to have caught your attention, right? Again, I feel like this is connected to this Lost in Space card since they are on top of each other. Something's different, something's changed. And that may be causing a little bit of a panic or a worry or an anxiety for somebody here. Now, this heart home, the thing that we've been doing and the way that we've been doing it, we have the Three of Wands. There is almost this sort of loyalty to this thing. And this loyalty to this thing is preventing us from stepping into the next big thing, right? And that happens sometimes, right? When we're used to things manifesting in one particular way or one particular energy, we're not often thinking, oh, it's going to manifest in a different way. But that's what this message is saying. Someone here is a little worried that something's not coming through in the same way, that maybe they're cut off from something. And the truth isn't, you're not cut off. You're on a next journey. You're on the next stretch of that journey, right? It's not the same ship that's going to take you there. So it's like a little interchange. We have to change flights, right? So for example, if this is somebody who maybe it's a business, and maybe you feel like the business that you had been working on is like failing a little bit. It's not that it's failing, it's just that there's something else that has to be done right now for you to gain the tools to make it succeed in the future. Or maybe it's just a little bit of a tweak in your business plan or your business strategy that you're about to explore. If it's something like magic or psychism, it might be that your skills and your abilities are manifesting in a slightly different way, right? So if you're used to, for example, using cards and runes, maybe it's going to manifest more in channeling, writing things out and allowing it to free flow in automatic writing, for example. If it's that you practice dream work and the dreams just aren't coming, it might be that a different psychic avenue is starting to open up to you. It's something like that, where we have one thing that is starting to change, and it's because we have changed. And so someone here is being asked to release the reins of control and thinking that it has to happen this one particular way. There's also this thing about cycles that's coming through. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of the moon, right? The wolf howls at the moon. And so this is answering the call of cycles, honoring the cycles that are taking place. This seems to be an energetic cycle that's taking place in someone's life. And I often tell people this, right? That things ebb and flow. They will manifest one way, and then you'll see them shut down for a little while, and then all of a sudden it'll pop up over here. So this is something that somebody is currently dealing with. When we look over here at this joyful muse and this inspiration card, we have the Page of Pentacles. You may be having little inspirations to do other things or to try other things. It might be wise at this time to follow those inspirations, because sometimes that's the reason why this type of energy over here wanes, right? Is because it's freeing up space and freeing up energy and time and attention for us to pursue something else. Okay, that's funny. Okay, I'm strictly reading the images on these cards. Apparently, we'll flip back and forth. I'll tell you what the tarot means too. We have Ace of Materials over here, and so again, this is something, whatever it is that we're being asked to kind of release the reins on. This is something that we have built up over time. It's something that we've invested in quite a bit. I see the Ace of Materials, right? That's Ace of Pentacles, and so it's something that we put a lot of hard work and investment in. This is something that really speaks to our soul. It is something that we're very passionate about, and we feel that's probably why we're having some sort of anxiety or worry right now, if we're not able to tap into that sort of energy or that sort of flow within this thing. Again, for a lot of you, I feel like this is something creative. You know, maybe you're experiencing a writer's block or an artist's block of some kind. If you're a reader, it's a block on your readings, right? We go through that. We go through those phases. And some of us go through that a lot. Others of us, not so much. And so when it actually happens, we freak out a little bit, right? But this Ace of Materials here is saying that this is actually an opportunity. It's an opportunity to recharge, to rest, recalibrate, and re-strategize where you're going in the future. Here with the Four of Voices, this is the Four of Swords. Again, rest, recharge. Four of Swords is about rest and healing, but especially in this card, if you look at it, she's gaining new perspective, new illumination through her eyes, right? She's envisioning a new thing for herself and creating out of this energy of the cosmos because she's taken that time out. This is where we're able to gain, right? We're able to gain a bigger picture and understand the things that we're actually trying to attract to us and the things that we actually love. There is something about the cycle of karma or life lessons that's coming through in this, right? And life lessons don't have to be hard. We're not necessarily talking about those type of life lessons, though we certainly can be, especially if you feel that you've been through some hardships recently that have cultivated a new sense of identity for yourself or a new sense of purpose. But more so than that, this is almost like this is happening in its timing. It's just time right now for the path to maybe change its angle a little bit, right? It's going to happen in a slightly different way. And so with this card, just clarifying all of that, I have the Page of Emotions. Again, we have the Page of Pentacles and we have the Page of Cups. So there's like this change and this newness, this new opportunity and new direction for the thing that we invest in that we're passionate about. And so our passions may have changed sometime within this past year. They may have, again, I had gotten in here somewhere that somebody may have started to feel like they were just going through the motions or they had lost the excitement in whatever it was they were doing. And so this is really an opportunity to inject that excitement back into whatever it was by finding something slightly different, something new, right? Adding a new flavor to it that really re-inspires you so that you have that pentacle to invest in it. This is really where we are getting in touch with our heart space. We may be usually in this energy of the solar plexus, of the doing, right? Of the doing and the creating and the, doing and creating. But here we're kind of pulling the skirt or the curtain down on that in order to put the priority in the heart. What is it that we're actually passionate about? What would inspire us? What would motivate us? What would make us want to get out of bed in the morning to, come meet this thing and do it all over again? Somebody here may have lost that. You might recognize that as yourself, especially if you've noticed that whatever this particular thing is, that we've slowed down in it, right? And so this is really where we're being given a space just to like, hey, like you have to take time out. You weren't really taking time out for yourself. You weren't really taking time out to address this sort of loss of passion or loss of desire, or this, for some of you, a little bit of a question as, is this the right thing? Is this really what I want to be doing? Is this sustainable? Or for example, if you're a writer, is this the plot? Is this the direction, right? This seems to be an energy of, it feels like stagnation for whoever's in it, but it's really not stagnation. It's almost like a hold, like, hey, stay here for a second and really address this issue before you move on, right? So this is, this happens for us as things ebb and flow inside of our lives. It's almost as though we're being given opportunities to be able to readdress certain things that maybe we aren't necessarily meant to go forward with, right? It's not necessarily the best direction for us. So someone here is having a perspective shift coming up, if it's not already happening. And this perspective shift is really going to show you little things that maybe you can start doing differently in order to re-inject the passion into whatever this was. Okay, very interesting. One more card they're saying. Let's see. It's like a period of cleansing is kind of how it feels. With this card, I'm going to take the bottom as well. So I'm almost seeing it like this, right? I'm almost seeing it like we're in this period here. And the card's actually called the Initiation. I'm seeing it like we're in this sort of period, right? Where the things that we loved, the things that we used to really be all about, they may have taken on this sort of dull color. And we might be really upset about that. We might be, kind of upset that we're not able to force the process to happen right now. What's really happening is we're being given this space to enter into something new. And what I see that newness as being is this card here. It's almost like this is on the other side. So I'm going to read this just in case it means something to somebody. It's Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, and Teacher. For some of you, you are being called to teach or being called to like share extra guidance or the things that you know or give knowledge, right? So that may be important for some of you. But I think what's most important here is that on the other side of this is this image. When we look at this image, we're looking at this individual who has their hand over their heart. That heart center almost seems to be fueling this sort of halo, right? Their sovereignty, and getting back in touch with that heart space and what we really want, what we were really devoted to, what we really feel passionate about, is opening up this whole aspect of sovereignty that maybe we've lost a little bit, right? Especially if this is something that you do for work. Anybody who has been a creative person who has had to make money doing their creativity can probably tell you at some point it just becomes work, right? And you have to constantly find ways to feel passionate about it again and to love what you do. That's really a hard struggle for visual artists, especially. Not everybody goes through that, but a lot of us do. And this is about finding a way to inject that passion back into the thing that you're doing here. This is also a connection to our inner alignment with that Buddha imagery for me, and then with this goddess imagery in the background. For some of you, it might be good to get into touch with your own personal alignment, and then also that energy of the divine feminine inside of you, allowing yourself to have patience and not necessarily be in that divine masculine energy of creation and doing just for a little while, so that you can energetically recover and also figure out what it is that you're trying to birth for your future, right? So this is a very important message for somebody. Yeah, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry that this isn't happening or that this isn't going to work. It's just a time out so that you can discover little ways that you can inject that passion back into this path. So whoever this message is for, I hope it resonates for you. If it does, feel free to like this video, and until next time.